good day to all of our awesome family members out there. This particular video, we're going to go over a couple of updates, major updates. To be honest with you, I got some, oh crap, man, really? Got some crap news, okay. And then we've got some really good news. I think very, very good, strong news here. We're taking our mental vacation break today in Germany. I think this is the first time that we've done a German mental vacation break. So go on and soak that up. And for all of our German following, this is for you. Okay, now, so let's go to work here. We're going to work from our video blog today. So you're going to actually see this video that I'm doing right now. You'll see at the top of our blog. It's going to be in this section here. We'll replace this video. And then I'm working from the news right in here. So you can scroll down from the video and you can actually see the news that we are sharing. And now the first part of the news is coming from the message center. So you'll find this in your back office. And this is the oh crap news, okay? The first thing I'm going to do is go down to the oh crap news, which is, give me a moment. Okay, all right, so here we go. All viewing tokens will initially be converted to points on November 24th. Now that's the, oh man, really? Oh crap. Okay, we were anticipating that the that the monthly payout for viewing was going to be on the 15th, based on information that we had seen from thwleadership.com. Looks like that's going to be on the 24th, and it looks like that instead of there being any payout in October, it's going to be in November, and you know that's a bummer, but this is how I'm looking at things, okay? First off, when I look back at YouTube and I look at the history of YouTube and I see, you know, it started in 2005 and it took all the way up until June of 2007 before they launched in 9 countries. All right, so you're talking 2 years and almost 2.5 years, not quite, but almost 2.5 years before they even launched outside of the US. When I look at THW Global, and, you know, they originally anticipated, well, wrong post, there we go. They originally anticipated, give me a moment, that in the first, in stage 1, they were looking for 50,000 IVs in the US. And instead, what happened in the first 30 days is they wound up registering over 600,000 IVs in over 200 countries. Well, if you are planning on, you know, hoping for, targeting 50,000 folks in one geographical location, and what winds up happening is you've got 12 times what you anticipated, and you really anticipated most of that happening in the US, and you have folks in 200 countries represented. Guess what that's going to do? That's going to alter what you had on paper. So you've got this game plan drawn out, and this is coming from somebody who was a part owner of a network marketing company, okay? So I've got a different perspective. I'm no better than anyone, obviously, but I do have, you know, a different perspective when I look at these things. So I don't like the fact that it's going to be November 24th as opposed to October the 15th. But the reality is that, you know, we've been promoting since June 16th. So that's been over almost 3.5 months. So we've got a couple of months before we see the first payout from our efforts. Well, we've been promoting this longer than what we have left to go. All right, so that's kind of how I view that. Now, obviously, what we've been doing since September 21st, we're going to see the money on that. We're going to get paid out on that. It's just going to take a little bit longer. And if we take a look at what they've already shared previously about how they're getting paid from the third-party advertisers, you know, it makes sense. You know, it doesn't make it any less crappy for us, you know, but it does make sense, okay? So with that being said, you know, that it is what it is. We're going to continue, obviously, to push the pedal to the metal, because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. When you go to Worth of Web, they're saying that the website now is worth about $83 million. So I think we should put the rest, you know, is this thing any crap or what have you. This, you know, my biggest critique, and it will continue to be my biggest critique until they do something otherwise. My biggest critique is that, they haven't done a webinar. They haven't done a conference call. I don't know why they haven't done a webinar. I don't know why they haven't done a conference call. It does seem like that right now they are using THW Leadership, the folks behind that site, as their mouthpiece. And I know that Papi Julio has done videos, and I know he's done webinars and what have you. So he appears to kind of be the mouthpiece right now for the company. Would like for them to come out and do that, but this right here, the site's worth $83 million. Website can make almost $100,000 a day. I'm sorry, per month. Almost $100,000 a month is what that would be worth. About $32,000 or so a day. Website traffic estimate, 318 million page views per month, 2.1 million page views per day. We know the company went over 12 million page views on September 21st. Alexa ranking now 2,380. So in the top 2,500 websites globally. And this has happened all since June the 16th. So, to me, that's crappy news, but it is what it is. And really, when you really think about it, so we thought October 15th was going to be when they were going to pay on the viewing. But that would have been for a very short time frame, September the 21st to September the 30th. That would have only been for 9 days, and that really wouldn't have generated a lot of revenue for anybody, to be honest with you. Now we are talking from September 21st through October 31st. That's what we're going to be paid on the 24th of November. Then thereafter, the 24th of every month. Okay. All right. So again, crap news. But we're mature business people, and we'll continue to forge on. I will say this: for those of you that have been really following us intimately, and you were on our last webinar where we talked about RAS and the new compensation related to RAS, I gotta say this: everybody needs to be using RAS anyway, THW Global or not. Because you got to build a list, you've got to build a responsive list, and there is no system period out there even close to what RAS is going to provide for you. I actually even had someone come to me and say, hey, there's this network marketing company, they want to use something totally different from THW Global, but when they heard about the technology and how RAS has been put together, they want a RAS type system for their network marketing company. So other people, even outside of THW Global, are seeing the power of that system. And obviously that's going to have its own compensation element. So well before November 24th, for those of you that leverage RAS and you start, really doing, promoting RAS in conjunction with THW Global, that should put quite a bit of money in many of your pockets, okay? All right, so I'll let you read through all of this. Again, all of this was in your back office. I just wanted to make it easier for you to see, and I wanted to cover that crap news. All right, now let's get to the good news. All right, here's the good news. The good news is that they said that IVs complained, and here was the complaint. Watching advertising sometimes took up more time than watching the actual video. And, I think we all can attest to that. I had gotten to the point where if I was clicking on a video and if it was only a minute long, I wasn't even going to watch it. I was going for 2 minutes and above because I knew that the video, the commercial on the front end, and typically there was going to be a commercial on the back end, and I assumed that by watching the commercial on the back end, that also gave me more tokens. And it was always my assumption that we were going to get credit for all of the time watched, not just the video itself, but also the advertising, the commercial. That I always assumed that was going to be the case. So they go on to say that this made it more difficult for people to get their initial 10 hours in, or even their weekly 5 hours. If you're a free IV, your minimum is 5 hours in order for you to earn. But when if you're watching a 1 minute video, and let's say you had a let's say you had a 1-minute commercial on the front end. Well, you may have been watching almost 10 hours of content, but only getting credited for 5 hours. Now, I know that was a source of huge frustration for all of us, yours included, yours truly included. Okay, so here's the solution. What they're doing is they're having the programmers rewrite the tracking code to include all advertisements in the time counter. So, which I thought they were going to do anyway. It just makes perfect sense, because if you want me to watch a 2-minute commercial, I got no problem watching that 2-minute commercial if that is going towards my, I'm going to say 10 hours, since we've committed to 10 hours, my 10 hours for the week. Got no problem. And so now I'd have no problem if it was a 1-minute commercial, 1-minute video, but it was preceded by a 1-minute commercial. And then after the video, there was another 30-second or 1-minute commercial. I had a commercial the other day that was 6 or 7 minutes. Well, I don't want to watch a 6 or 7 minute commercial and even a 2 or 3 minute video if I'm not going to get the credit for that. So they've heard that, and they're making amends on that. THW Global is going to ask the programmers after they write the new programming to go back. Now, here's the great news, all right, and track all the time invested from day one of watching and include any and all advertisements already watched. So now we've got something that's retroactive, where any video that you've watched, they'll track. And if you, let's say you've watched 10 hours of content, excuse me if I coughed in your ear there. If you watch 10 hours of content, but you only got credited for 6 hours because 4 hours of that was commercials, well, now you're going to get credit for the full 10 hours. Then they say, you want more good news? Read the next statement below. THW Global is going to increase tokens for every 34 seconds of an advertisement watch. So if there's a 5 or 10 minute advertisement, you will earn a token for every 34 seconds. So a 10-minute ad would give you 17 tokens. This will take place, it'll take about a week or so to implement. Now, when they say it'll take a week or so to implement, when it comes to programming, programmers aren't field people, okay? So programmers may say it may take a week might be 2. All right, I don't know how long it's going to take. Now, what we have seen is typically when they said something was going to happen, from a technological standpoint, it did happen, around that time. So hopefully we'll see that happening in the next week or so. So let's just stay on the same path, continue with our 10-hour pledge, knowing that actually once this programming is done, it won't take, it should take you, 10 hours, all right, between the commercials and the actual videos, all right? They also say that pay systems should be in the back office. They say next week, but this was released over the weekend. So I know previously they were saying, pay attention in your back office as early as today, which is Monday the 26th. So this may happen actually this week. And remember, one of the things that we are shouting from the rooftop is the power bonus system, the $10 a month. When you go in your back office now, they have that under e-learning, and I see right now where it shows like for a 3-month or 6-month subscription. I don't know if they're going to break that down to a monthly subscription of $10 a month, or if it's going to start off as a quarterly subscription or higher or what have you. So we'll just have to monitor that and check that out. Okay. All right. So that's the news that we want to cover. All right. And again, we're just going to be very mature business people. We've come further than what we have to go in terms of seeing the first payout from our viewing. And feel free again to read all of the information here. The first part of the information comes from your message center. So it's right back there in your message center. We just wanted to make it easier for you to see. And then the second part of this, after these little stars here, is what came from the THW leadership BetterThanYouTube.com site, as well as an email that we got over the weekend. All right, we're going to see you on our next webinar on Tuesday evening, and then we'll be back with Raz and training on Thursday evening. Love each and every one of you. Have an awesome week. And we are signing off. Have a good one.